Hi there again, this is Daz and Will with our fourth and final playthrough on the basics of Wild West Exodus. So in the previous three videos we went through movement, we went through combat actions and shooting, we went through combat actions with melee. So today we're going to put it all together and we're going to use the full rules of the game. So if it's something we haven't put into a video previously, we'll take a little bit of time to explain it. So without further ado, shall we start, Will?
I think we should.
Excellent. So first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to draw for deployment. So if we're going to take the top action card and reveal that, and once again we're looking for the small numbers in the corners. So I've managed to pull a 9.
And I'm on 22.
Dirty, dirty, dirty. Okay, so your decision, Will. Are you going to deploy first or second?
I think I'm going to deploy it first. So on this size board, because we're playing on a 4x4 board, we can start up to 8 inches on.
Indeed.
So I'm going to start just behind the fencing here.
Okay.
That is my unit done. Over to you, Darren.
So Jesse's hiding behind cover already. Well done, Jesse. So let's see what I can get with Wyatt. So I think I'm going to deploy out in the open, knowing that Jesse's weapons are not going to be in range for the first turn or so. So that's that done there. Okay, so now we're going to need to draw for initiative. Who goes first?
Before we do that, though, we need to draw our adventure cards.
Indeed we do, Will. Indeed we do. I always forget that bit. So how many do we get at this level of game, Will?
So as it's less than 1,000 points, we get 3 adventure cards each.
Right, now we've not used adventure cards yet in our games, and they are actually one of the things that makes Wild West Exodus absolutely fantastic. So what I'll do, while we're just checking through and looking at the cards, I'll give you a brief explanation of what they do. So the cards split into 2. On one side, you've got Guts, and Guts will give you immediate in-game benefits, special effects, and so on, but generally buffs to your statistics. On the other side of the card, we have Glory. Now, Glory gives you additional secret objectives to achieve over the course of the battle that grant you additional victory points. So whether you go Guts or Glory, only you can decide, but they will have an impact on the game. So, Will, you've drawn your 3?
Yep, so now we need to flip for initiative. So, because I've finished deploying first, I get to choose whether I start first or second. However, Darren can flip for initiative. Again, if he beats my previous score of 22, he can steal it.
This is just you burning through my action deck, Will, surely?
Yes, it is.
Right, okay, so what number am I looking to beat again?
So I got a 22, you're getting higher than 22.
All right, okay, so I did.
Ooh.
35 it is, 35 it is. Okay, so as I beat your initial, what does that mean?
It means that you get the first turn.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to have a quick check through my cards. Right, so I've got some interesting stuff there with the Guts and with the Glory. So without further ado, let's get Wyatt charging up that table to deal with Jesse. So I'm going to draw for my action points. And for this turn, I've got 2 action points to play with. So I think this is going to be quite simple. What I'm going to do is take a move action and then I'm going to add a dash to that for an extra action point. So my dash gives me an additional 3 inches on top of my quickness of 5, gives me an 8-inch move. So that gets Wyatt to there, and he gets his free action of taking cover. I could try and generate some additional action points from my fortune or from my adventure deck, but I'm going to hold on to them for the moment. I am done, sir.
So, first thing I'll do with my activation of this, James, is I'm going to draw to see how many action points I can play with before I make my decisions.
Good luck, sir.
Ooh.
Oh, dirty.
Got 4 points. So, 4 action points I can spend. So, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to make a move action and move up a bit closer. So, I am currently 8 inches from the box. My quickness is 6. I'm going to use 1 action point to move.
Okay.
And 1 action point to focus it and get plus 2 inches.
Okay.
Total 8 inches. So that puts me from there.
So as
to
you've pre-measured, once again, this is a pre-measure game. It should be pretty easy to work out where you need to go.
It is indeed. So my guns, my pistols, are ranged 10 inches. I am well out of range for the minute.
Good.
So I am going to scout around. So as I want to do a second move action, because I've already done the first one, it's going to cost me an extra action point. So that's 2 action points for the 1 move.
Okay.
So quickness of 6. I'm going to dart from cover to cover. and try not to get shot at until we're closer.
So that's 1 action point to move, 1 action point to focus the move, and then 2 action points to move again.
That is correct.
So that's his action card dealt with. Okay. So let's have a look at his limit while we're looking at that. So Jesse's got a limit of 3, so he's taken a move action. The focus doesn't count towards that limit, and then he's taken a second action. So he's actually got 1 limit left. So if you could find some extra action points from somewhere, you could do something else.
So there are ways I can draw extra action cards through my adventure cards. I do have some guts that may or may not.
May or may not, okay.
But as I'm too far away to shoot at him, and I'm too far away to fight him, I am going to save them for now.
Okay, that's awesome. So what that looks like is the end of the first turn. So what we can do at the end of the first turn is go through our adventure cards, get rid of any that we don't like, ready to replace them at the start of the next turn. So me and Will are going to have a bit of a check through our cards again, and we'll join you in turn 2. Cool. Looks like we're about to kick off round 2. So once again, we're going to have to draw for initiative. So good luck. And on my card, I have a 39.
I've only got 29.
Okay, so it looks like I've got the activation. So if we'd discarded any cards, by the way, myself and Will kept all 3 of our adventure cards, so we've obviously got some good ones. But after we've done the initiative draw, that's when you would normally replenish your adventure card supply. So we know what our initiative is. I'm going to be going first. Unless, of course, you've got any adventure cards that may change that, Will.
I will not make a comment.
Oh, okay.
I will not interfere.
All right, okay, so no interference, so I'm going to take the action. Fantastic. Right, so I'm going to draw for Wyatt's activation. Yes! So we've got 4 action points to spend with. Let's bring down the pain. So I'm going to take a quick measure and see how far Jesse is away from me this time. So Jesse's around about 16 inches away. The maximum range I have is 12. So no matter what, I'm going to have to get involved a bit closer. So first action point, I am going to move into cover, I think. So I will take a focus move action. Now Wyatt's quickness is normally 5. The focus bumps that up to 7, which gives him just enough to get into cover. Awesome. Now I'm going to take another quick measure. And that's enough to get some shooting done. So I am going to fire my Magnum Peacemaker at you. So this has got a rate of attack of 1, meaning that I will get 1 shot. So let's work out what I need to hit. So I'm touching the cover, so this will not affect my shot, but there's going to be a -1 for Jesse being behind that piece of terrain there. So my aim of 7 is reduced to 6. I'm needing a 4 or more to be on target. And it's a 7, so Wyatt's on target. So we are going to need a grit check from Jesse. So what does that look like? Well,
so this looks like it could hurt. So my grit naturally is 6.
Okay.
So I normally need 4 or higher to pass it. However, your piercing is -4.
My piercing is indeed -4.
But I am in cover. So I do get the +1 to my grit for being obscured.
Okay.
So my grit goes from 6, +1 for the cover, to 7.
Yep.
Minus the 4 from your nasty handgun, down to a grit of 3.
Whoa, that's going to be a tough one, Will.
So to get to 10, I need to roll a 7 or higher.
Absolutely. Target number 10 demands a 7.
So 7 or higher, and I'm fine. Oh.
Superb, superb. Okay, so what we have there is a critical failure. So not only has he not died for cover at the last moment, he's also rolled out into the open. So what is the bad effect of a critical 1, Will? I just want to rub it in here for you.
So with critical hits, a critical 1 and a critical 10, it will either always succeed or always fail. So
Indeed.
1 will always fail.
Okay.
That's the first part.
Yep.
The worst part for me is if you roll a 1 or a 10, you cannot re-roll it.
Awesome, awesome. So just because we haven't really covered this in our previous videos, re-rolls generally come from a single place, which is using fortune. Now, bosses start the game with fortune, and in this instance, Wyatt started with 4 fortune, and Jesse started with
3 fortune.
3 fortune. So normally, if you miss a shot, and if you're really desperate to get that shot, you can use fortune to re-roll a dice. But the bad side about a critical failure is that cannot be re-rolled. So Jesse has taken an injury.
Yeah, well,
Possibly.
Nearly.
Well, the thing about the game is, as you're probably all aware, there are no wounds in this game. So unless you can do something about this, Jesse is dead now. So what can Jesse do, Will?
So, because of the character, he's an additional rule they can use to take a test to not get hurt.
Okay.
So, once per turn, I can use a rule called the Quicken the Dead.
Awesome.
To take a quick check to see if I jump away from the bullet at the last second and avoid the damage.
Fantastic. So most characters get this, and I will put the point on there. This is most characters, not all characters get it. So when you choose your boss, have a look on the back of the cards, check through these common special rules. Don't just assume you've got it. So Quicken the Dead, what is his quickness?
So his quick check, he would need a 6.
Okay,
so
target number 10.
I need a 4 or higher to be perfectly fine.
Off you go. Now that to me looks like that's more of a 7 than a 3 there.
That does look like a 7.
So we'll let you have that. So Jesse has made his quick check. Now the other thing about the Quicken the Dead is that can only be used once per turn. So in our game here with 1-on-1, that's not going to be a problem. But when you're up against an entire army, it can be very tense. Very tense. Okay, so I did a shoot action. You failed your grit check with an epic 1. You did Quicken the Dead and passed.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so just checking through what I've done here. I did a focus move to get me to there and then a shot. So that's 1 action point left. Not only that, I've only used 2 of my limit because the focus doesn't count. So if I can find another action point from somewhere, I'll be able to shoot again, bearing in mind that doing something twice costs 2 action points. So what I'm going to do is spend a point of Wyatt's fortune to add into that action point pool to give me the 2 action points I need to shoot Jesse in the face again, because I reckon this time he's in trouble. So the fortune is burnt and the action points, I can't let these cards up, the action points are also spent. But let's see what I can get out of this. So I'm looking at aim 7, -1 for that. I'm needing a total of 4 to be on target. And that, the earthquake pays off. That is a 4, so I am on target.
Which means that I have another grit check.
You do.
So again, it's grit 6, +1 for cover, 7, -4 for that piercing handgun, that peacemaker is horrible, down to grit of 3. So I need to roll a 7 or higher to beat the target number.
Good luck, sir.
Let's see what I can do. 4.
Okay, so he's failed.
So, where it's not a critical failure,
but it's not a critical. Okay.
I can use a point of fortune to re-roll that dice.
Awesome.
So, on again, 7 or higher, I am fine.
Now the good thing about re-rolls is you can only re-roll a dice once, both you and your enemy. So in this instance, that's failed.
That is failed. So, if I had Quicken the Dead, I could use it once per
turn. Gone already.
So it's used, I'm not allowed to use that. I also have a rule called Metal.
Okay.
Now, this means that if you get taken a wound, so you failed a grit check, you can take the disorder condition rather than take the wound.
Awesome.
However, this is ignored by a few weapons. So, for example, a weapon of piercing -4 or greater, you cannot use this rule.
Okay, so because you cannot use that rule, Jesse is dead. That is it. He is out of the game. He is out of the game. Okay, so just to check through what happened there. So we've done movement again. We've gone through shooting again. We've even involved fortune and adventure cards into this one as well. But as it's a 1 model versus 1 model shootout, chances are one of us was going to get it pretty quickly.
You had the bigger gun and you shot first.
Excellent stuff. So Wyatt is victorious at the end of this video. So thank you to all the Wyatt fans out there for giving us the love that Wyatt needs to beat Jesse into the ground. So after this, myself and Will be putting together the next video where we'll be using the entire contents of the Gunfight at Red Oak box set, which will be a much more involved fight. You get to see a lot more of the game in place, and obviously Jesse will still probably go down to the first shot from Wyatt.
He may be down now, but he's not out yet.
All right, Will. Thank you very much, guys, and look forward to the next video. Catch you soon.